Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. So when I ended the last episode, I was hanging out here, I was reviewing the video, and I heard this sound, and I looked out the window, and it was a tornado. It's the first one I've actually seen in this world. I took some footage of it, I fired up Fraps real quick, and that's probably what you're seeing right now. Unfortunately, there was no damage path, so nothing, bad really happened. But I just noticed a cow flying around, and then I went outside, and it looked pretty cool. I want to look in the config and see if I can turn up the frequency of those things, because I think they're kind of cool. I live in Oklahoma. We have tornadoes a lot, and I think it should happen in Minecraft a little more often. So I figured, what the hell, let's make some fluid level emitters and see if we can't make this thing cook the ender pearls and redstone into juice on demand. So the only thing we need to turn a regular level emitter into a fluid level emitter is lapis or some kind of blue dye. And I haven't looked at the interface on these things at all, so we'll see how it goes. What I've done, I moved the import bus to the bottom of the magma crucible. So I figure we can put an export bus on either side, one with ender pearls, one with redstone. If they only work when necessary, we can use one crucible for everything. So I figure we'll first try it with redstone and see what happens. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to set this to work with a signal. We're going to put our fluid level emitter back here. And then we need another piece of cable to connect it. And if we look at the interface, we can see it's just like the regular level emitter. We can emit a signal when level is below a certain fluid level. So what we'll do is we'll say, how about 40 buckets? Let's see what we have in here now. We have about 20 buckets of redstone and 94 buckets of ender. I think the ender is actually going to last us a while. So let me grab one piece of redstone. And what we'll do, we'll set the type in here. And the thing turned off. Emit when levels are below. And this is in millibuckets. So we need to make this. Let me just see if I can type in here. I can't. Oh, okay, look at this. If you hold shift, look what happens to this thing. So I actually can move it up. So if you're just clicking, you get this. If you hold your left shift key, we get this. So that was a pretty good find. I was actually looking to see if there was any info on this. But so we've got that kicked up. You see the emitter is now on because we have less than this amount of redstone in the system. So if I put redstone in here, it's going to send redstone to the magma crucible until the level goes above 50,000 millibuckets. And actually, we'll turn that down to 25. Just so we can see it kick off, just to make sure that the thing works. It's gonna take just another minute to get there. But as soon as we hit 25,000 millibuckets, that level emitter should go away. And it lights up yellow. It's kind of hard to see. And there it goes. So this is totally a thing. We're going to use this. We're going to leave it on 50 for now, so that thing will work. I'll do the same thing with ender pearls on this side. I'll probably set it at 50 as well, or 50,000, whatever you want to call it. Just so we have enough in there, but that's going to last us a while, so no big deal. So let's put that back in there. And yeah, 1,000 is a bucket. That's what I thought. So I'll go ahead and put this stuff over there because we are going to need to set it up. Whoops. If I had a little more room on top, I could do the same thing for glowstone. This is pretty awesome because, like I said, we can use the same magma crucible for all three things that we need to melt very easily. It was a little more difficult before. So we'll put our level emitter there, make a hole to get out, and put some cable on it. And I'll set that up a little later. We don't need to set that up right now. What we need to do now is make some facades to cover this thing up. I actually was looking, if we look at the ender bucket, what I want to do is I want to kind of automate the Enderium blend recipe. We'll do that a little later, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an interface on this side with the recipe for the resin and ender bucket so that it gives this thing a bucket, it gets filled up, and then we can automatically make the Enderium blend and then cook it into ingots with this stuff, which is an easy crafting recipe. So let's go make the assembly table, and I forget how many lasers I can make, probably 12. Yep, 12. And I'm not going to leave it hooked up all the time because the table now draws power even if it's idle, unfortunately. So I think that does take 1 diamond gear. The rest of it is really easy. I actually might run out of redstone before I get done with the whole thing. Whoops. And if I just said I might run out of redstone, I meant I might run out of obsidian because I've only got 38 of them. So we'll just make as many lasers as we can. I don't think it really takes that long to make facades. Oh, look at that. We have just enough. Cool. So we're also going to need some structure pipe, which is a cobblestone pipe filled with gravel. And I have just run out of glass. All right, that's probably enough of that. We'll make all 24 of those, and we're going to need some stone as well, because that's the type of facades we're going to make. There are a lot more things you can do with assembly table products, but I don't really have much of a use for gates anymore, since my main use for them was to read whether an energy cell had power or not. And since they don't do that anymore, I think the only way to do that is there's an open peripherals thing that'll do it. I really don't have much of a use for gates, honestly. Ooh. Looks like we're running low on power. Way low on power. That'll be a problem. Let's disconnect those for a second. I really just needed a chest to put next to the assembly table to catch all the stuff. So if I leave that thing hooked up, I'm going to need more steam dynamos or some sort of power. Oh yeah, that totally drained all those things. That's all right. So if we put this in here with this, we actually get quite a few facades. And it looks like we're pulling about 50 MJ. And I think we get 4 apiece from these dynamos. So we're only making about 48 MJ. So this is definitely taking all the power. But I don't think we're going to need that many of these, so it's not a big deal. I'll let it go through one more cycle after this, and then we'll kill it. Because surely 24 of these will be enough. Alright, there we go. We'll take these, and we'll disconnect the conduit. The trick I like to use before was I would put a structure pipe with a gate on the bottom of the assembly table, and I'd put a few energy cells in between the power source and the table, and I would tell the gate to only emit a redstone signal if the table had work to do, which would turn on the energy cells so it didn't just constantly draw power. Like I said, that's not really an option anymore because the Buildcraft gates will not read the redstone energy cells in this version. Not a huge deal, but you know, that was pretty nice. So we'll pop these on here just like that. We'll hide all our cable. All the cable we can anyway. The really cool thing about these is if you know that there's a storage bus here, you can still click on the storage bus. This will go on the interface, and we can still click on the interface to put recipes in if we want. But it just makes everything look a little neater. The thing I really liked about the emitters microblocks is that the covers covered everything. And I'm actually not going to cover up all this until I'm sure I'm done setting recipes. I'm going to need to put the energy cell frame in here also, and make another interface for this stuff before I cover that all up. Just for fun. Yeah, I cannot put that on the conduit. So one of these days, Forge microblock or multi-part support will be happening, and we can cover those up rather easily. So here's what I want to do now. Let's make a steel tank and start pumping some oil over here. And then what I want to do is I want to use a liquid storage bus connected to the tank to take the oil, send it to a refinery, and then put it into another tank after it's been refined into fuel. So this episode will be a little longer than they normally are. So let's, what are we going to need? I want to make an angel block. If you've never used the angel block, it's really cool. We'll make 4 of these. We're going to need our pump, and we're going to need a way to power the pump. We'll probably just do the magmatic dynamo again. And we have conduit, so this is all set. And then why don't we use a tesseract to actually move the stuff I don't know where my tesseracts went. They're not in there. I thought they were in one of these chests over here. Oh, here they are, right in front of my face. So we're also going to need a bunch of these. And I'll go ahead and make the biggest one that I can. I don't know where to put it, though. That's always a problem. Let's see. How big is this room? I can put a 7x7 right here. With no room, no room to walk around at all. So I'll tell you what, give me a minute. Let me hollow out. I'll hollow out an area down here. I think I already have an area that is sort of hollow. Kinda. I want to put it down here because it'll be easier to run the ME cable and stuff. So it'll be really nice if we can just put it right here. Let me clear this out. I'll go ahead and set up the tank and then we'll get pumping. So give me just a minute. Okay, change of plans, guys. I forgot my molecular assembler chamber was down here. I don't know how I could forget something so important. So what we'll do is I'll make a filler real quick. I'll come back. We'll power it with an energy cell. And I already made an elevator or two. And what we'll do is we'll put this thing 20 blocks below the surface. I was hoping I could just fly up. Basically, here is where the elevator shaft will be. And it's about 10 blocks below the surface over here. I think there's enough land built up that it won't be a problem to just clear out a big area down there. And we can put more than one tank. So we can still run the cable straight down. But we'll just have a little more room to work. So I want to say the filler takes ink, a gold gear, and something else. I heard it has a new interface, so let me craft this thing. Here's the recipe. Let me craft it up, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's our filler. I think my crafting thing crapped out again. Making redstone torches of all things. So I have some energy cells somewhere over here. Here they are. I don't think these things hold very much, so this could be interesting. So we'll just grab 2 for now, and we'll see how it goes. So let's make a little room to work right here. And we'll put one here. I knew that was going to be a problem. Now I can't get in there because that torch is in the way. Let me break this elevator for a minute. So we'll just start with, I don't know, however big this is. And then we'll expand it if necessary. Let's do it at ground level for now. So we've got our box. We'll put our filler. Get our landmarks. and then we'll see what the new interface on the filler is. Well, maybe it doesn't have a new interface. Maybe I don't have the most current version of Buildcraft. That's just something I read somewhere. They didn't say what the difference was. They just said it was different. I think I threw away my potatoes. Alright, so we'll do the old... I didn't get enough glass. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. So we'll put our glass in. We turn green. We're gonna need conduit between the energy cell and the filler. Let me set that to output. I don't know which side is which. I'll just make them all orange. There it goes. Should be working now. Let me put the other energy cell over here with another piece of conduit. Should be working faster. And I'm going to have to pay attention, I think. I don't know if this is my other elevator shaft. No, it's my old one. My other elevators are over here. So that should not interfere. So I'll be back once this area is clear. And then we can actually start setting up the tank. I'm going to go ahead and make some tank walls and stuff. It's 4 of these. Makes a tank wall. And you can dye it if you want. I don't think we're going to mess with that. The gauge and stuff. It's the plates and glass panes. And the valves are iron bars, and there's a lever that goes in the middle. So I'll just go make a bunch of each of those, and then we'll come back and set the thing up. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, guys, I have already built the tank. I just went ahead and did it since I knew it was going to take a while. As you recall, you need tank walls for the frame of the tank, meaning all the outside edges, and then the inside is tank gauge of each side, including top and bottom. You can actually mix and match like I've done here. You can throw a couple of torches on it, and if you recall, you can pump into any valve. Well, you can't pump into valves on the floor of the tank anymore, but you can pump into any valve on the second level or higher. You can only pump out of valves on the second level or the floor. So let's throw our tesseracts down and we'll end this episode. I've actually been recording for nearly an hour now, just because I just leave it running when I'm doing stuff off camera. We'll just call this number 1. We'll label it oil, save it, set it, and this one is going to be fluid mode. Will be receive only. We'll turn off energy. And then we'll go over to the lava. And I do have a couple extra blocks. That's good. So if we put our angel block, we can just place it on air. It's one of the best blocks for like building off the ground. We'll make a little platform up here. And it looks like we're right in the middle of that. So that's good. That's what we want. So we'll go ahead and place our pump. We'll let the arm start extending. We'll put our tesseract here. We want fluid to send only, not receive. We'll set it on frequency 1, and then we'll put one piece of conduit, one magmatic dynamo, and the ender tank next to it. Set it to output. So as soon as that thing hits oil, we should be getting oil over here. We have a bucket. So it's working. And it looks like our tesseract is glowing a little bit. I really like that in the tooltip you can see, well, it's kind of flashing, but you can see, you know, what frequency it is, what it's receiving, and who the owner is. So until we get down past all the water, we're only going to get a bucket every few seconds because the pump will take a bucket and then the arm will extend. It'll take the next bucket. The arm will extend again. So I think I'm going to end it here because I have no idea how long I will condense the footage down to. I don't want to go too long. So what we'll do next time is we will make the fluid storage bus and we'll run some cable down here. We'll figure out if we have to put the fluid storage bus on a valve or if we can just put it anywhere on the tank. You figure it would have to be a valve. If we need to put a valve next to it for the fluid import bus, I can do that. We won't lose any liquid at all. And I'll figure out where we're going to put the fuel tank. I figure we'll just put it somewhere in the vicinity. Maybe it may be a bit smaller. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But we'll go ahead and do that, make the refinery, and get that stuff going in the next episode. So that's going to do it. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, what have you, please leave them down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.